Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Colleen McCartney, and if you're not in my group, Making Tech Simple for Online Entrepreneurs, you should be heading on over to Facebook and joining that group right now because it is where all the nerds hang. All the cool nerds who leverage their tech to rock their business and actually serve their customers with ease. So, today we're talking about onboarding, right? So it's really important. If you start something new, whether it's a new coaching program or a new course, or you sign up for a new software platform and they don't have a solid onboard process, how many times, let me know in the comments, who has ever gotten confused when they started a new program or they started new software and they were like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, am I supposed to be filling out my profile? Like, where do I even begin with this, right? Like, how many times have you been trying something new and without instructions, you were like, this is hard, this is confusing, and I just don't want to do it. It could be the most magical, amazing thing for your business. It could really solve a problem. But if you can't get to the point that you are actually using that software or that program, right, then you are never going to be able to actually achieve the results that you're looking for. And if you're a coach, course creator, you're running SaaS, this is so crucial to your business because people aren't going to get the results on day one, right? They need to be in it to win it. They need to be onboarded into your program, onto your software, and actually executing the thing and doing the thing, right? And if we can't get them to that point, they're lost, right? They're going to drop off. That's where you're going to have people signing up and turning on your software, or if you are coaching or teaching them something and you can't even get them onboarded into your program to be able to log into their software, to understand, like, set expectations, then they're already lost, right? How many of you run some sort of a coaching or training program? Let me know in the comments if you're a coach, right? Because I know that most of you coaches out there are having a program that lasts at least 2 to 3 months or 6 months or a year, right? If you can't get them to onboard and trust that you know what you're doing, that you have a clear process for them to follow, they're going to fall off. They're going to lose faith in you as well, because that is the first impression they're getting on how you do things, right? I've just built out a whole agency platform for one of the top coaches out there, and just had a call with another one last night. And the biggest thing for both of them was having a clear and easy to follow onboard process, because they were launching at scale, right? And if you're just starting out, that may not be a front and center of your mind, but would you rather spend 2 hours on one-on-one with someone, walking them through, all right, here's where you log into your course, here's where you find this, here's where you find that, here's where you go put this thing in, and holding their hand? Or would you rather have a step-by-step process with explainer videos that walked them through exactly what to do so they knew how to do it? Because you have to remember that everyone you're talking to is a human being, right? Comment overwhelmed if you've ever been overwhelmed in your life at all, right? And I better be seeing a bunch of overwhelms, because I know everybody gets overwhelmed at some point, because we are humans and we have this thing called a human brain, and that can get overwhelmed by an array of different things. So you have to take that into consideration when you're building out your onboard process, right? You have to be setting expectations. You have to make sure that you are mapping out their steps and explaining it to them. And you have to go back through it and think, all right, right? And this is something that's front and center for me, because I'm neurodivergent. If you don't know that term, that means I've got ADHD and I've got anxiety and I've got social anxiety. So I get overwhelmed a lot. That's why I lean on my 4-7-8 breathing. I use my oils before I go live. because I need to calm my mind. And I'm a tech genius over here. Like, I'm going to start owning my title because I'm building out these platforms for like these 30K plus 7-figure earner people. So you have to be mindful that your user is probably going to get overwhelmed because they are trying something new. Just hard stop at that. They are doing something new and they're light on top of everything else they're dealing with in their life, right? So if you're coaching them something and they're learning new software, even if it's just logging into their platform, I cannot tell you how many times figuring out how to log in to the course platform has been a problem, right? The minute they run into a speed bump, whether it's they forgot their password, they don't know how to reset their password. Where do you have a login page on your site, right? Like it's a lot of these little things that you really need to be mindful of because you have to think it through think about someone who's like super stressed out and overwhelmed because they're pushing themselves as an entrepreneur and as a person. They want to do something better. They want to improve themselves. And they're going to be facing some personal challenges and personal growth as well. So you need to be mindful that they're going to get overwhelmed. So how do we minimize that as much as possible? So breaking things out into small steps, setting expectations. I cannot tell you, this is my number one pet peeve. If I'm going to work with you, if I'm hiring you for something and you don't set my expectations, I'm going to be wondering, like, am I supposed to follow up? What's the next step? What are we doing? And that's not what you should have any of your clients thinking. Your client should know what is the next step in what I'm supposed to do. If they're not sure what their next step is, you got to go back. You got to adjust. Because if you lose them in the beginning, remember, first impressions last. And if their first impression is that you're a mess, that you don't really know that your systems are janky, that something's not there, even if you are the best at your zone of genius, they're going to lose faith. They're not going to build that know, like, trust factor that boosts customer loyalty, that increases your retention and makes them want to tell everyone about your course, your program, your software, whatever it is. So having that first impression, giving them that confidence, like, yeah, I got this. I can do this, right? Because I guarantee you, every single one of you out there is teaching someone something difficult or different or something that is new to them. So you need to make sure that everything they're doing in the very beginning is as easy and simple as possible. If you start out on day one and you're speaking to me, the super nerd, you've already lost your audience. They are going to be like, oh my gosh, I am not really fit here. I should be somewhere else. It's like when I've gone to a gym and gone to a yoga class and nobody set my expectations that it was just a vinyasa yoga class. And nobody told me that it's for like the daily soccer moms and we're going to like go super speed through this. It was a vinyasa one, right? Sorry, just going down a train because that's what I was talking about 20 minutes ago. And it's having clear expectations, right? Like I had a chiropractic appointment this morning. By the way, absolute best chiropractic adjustment I've ever had in my entire life. Oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. And he's killing it with the Google review. So I was like, hats off, you're running a business. However, I got asked for my insurance information 3 times in 15 minutes. Once when I called to book the appointment, they asked for it over the phone. Then in an email where they sent the form for me to fill out, they asked for me to email it to them again. And then again on the form, I had to fill it out again. So if you ask your clients to give you the same information 3 different times in 3 different ways, are you going to be, do you think they're going to like that? Are you going to enjoy that? Oh my gosh. Yes, girl. Those yoga classes, like, what? That is a whole nother level. I'm like, I am not there. I am here because I'm turning 40. I've got herniated discs. Like, gotta make sure I can move my body. So can you make sure that I don't like break and die? That'd be great. Yes, it's so easy to get overwhelmed these days. We are getting hit by so much data. So many things are coming to us between social media. We got the posts, we've got judging ourselves, comparing against other people. We got our goals in our business we want to accomplish. We have our personal life we need to adjust. We've got our kids or dogs and all sorts of stuff coming at us. And yet we still need to be performing at top level for our clients. So again, remember, if you get overwhelmed with life, your clients do too. So minimizing the overwhelm as they start something new, right? If I say, hey, you're going to come out to Camogie practice with me, and great, here's a hurl, here's a slitter, and training is on Sunday at 9, right? Are you going to be like, what on earth? You're in another language. I don't know what this is. What is going on? Because I did not set your expectations. I did not explain to you what it is we're doing. I did not break it down into step-by-step, comprehensible bits, right? And so for those of you who don't know, camogie is an Irish field sport. For the men, it's called hurling, and it is a cross between field hockey and lacrosse, and it is my favoriteest thing to do, and it gets all the adrenaline and gets me the happy dopamine and gets my body moving. So if you want to get our workbook that's going to walk you through creating an onboard process, then make sure to comment #onboard, and we will get that on out to you. And creating an onboard process, whether you are a coach, a course creator, or a SaaS owner, it doesn't matter. You still need to follow the same rules. What do they need to accomplish? How do you break this down into the smallest bite-sized chunks as possible? Okay, now how do you explain this to them in small bites? If you've got like a 30-step process and they see it all at once, do you think that's going to feel good to the user? Do you think they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm just to get started. There's 30 steps and I can't even do this. And then they're going to quit before they even get started, right? So if you break it down and just really control what they're seeing, all they need to see is, what do I do next? If you're showing them everything they need to do right out of the gate, dude, even I'm going to get overwhelmed, right? Like, I'm using a bunch of different tools, and did I look at them all at once? No. As I'm training people to use it, it's hella overwhelming. So we have to break it down to looking at this one piece, this one step. That's all that matters. You accomplish that, boom, you got to win. Go to the next step. Oh, okay, cool. Now we're moving up momentum. Oh, I got step 2 done. Yeah, I can do this. I'm feeling motivated to keep going. You got to feed that dopamine cycle, right? You got to give them those wins. Those wins need to be as small as possible. Simply log into the system, right? That's the first win, right? If you can get them to easily log into either your SaaS platform or to your course platform and get to the first module without a problem, that is a win. And you need to remember that the wins that you think of as a client achieving success in their business, we're not even there yet. It does not matter. If you could have the best program in the world, but if you can't onboard them, you're not going to retain them. And they're not going to be, you want your advocates. You want your, I think I heard Chat HQ guys talking about purple fans. And I forget where it came from, but you want purple fans. Those are the people that are such big fans of yours. They're telling everybody about it. And you know why? Because they could understand what it was to join your program, to join your platform. They were able to do it. And they know that everybody else can do it too. And so that's oh my gosh, we're already at almost 15 minutes, but it's so important. And I got to tell you, like, I'm so pumped about this onboard process we built for Nerdly. So for any of you high levelers out there, you may want to hit me up. It's about ready to go to market for you to buy and install for your SaaS. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. I am super proud. And also shout out to Kate McCartney, who avoids the internet like the plague. because that is her baby. That's my sister-in-law. Family time. That's right. So if you're interested in that, you want to hear more about that, comment words. Oh my God. Just comment that you want to see the onboard process. That's what happens when I think of something on the fly and yes. Onboard. Oh, comment funnel. If you want to hear about the high level onboard process funnel we built, comment funnel. With that, I'm out. I'll see you next week, nerds. Stay nerdy.